What's up guys, welcome back. Today we're looking at the Balanced Druid Mage Tower Challenge. This is our 5th Season 3 Mage Tower guide. Be sure to check out the Guardian Druid, Fury Warrior, Ret Paladin, and Frost Death Knight challenges linked in the description below, along with all of our Kaiveza guides. I'm a big fan of this one. It covers a lot of bases that highlight the differences between the classes. You have to kite, CC, save cooldowns for burst windows, quickly priority target and or interrupt specific adds before they kill you, sort of have a plan for managing your health pool throughout the fight, and you even get to make a decision in the final phase with how you finish off the fight. The goal of the fight is to kill Raest Karam Magespear. You also have to manage his brother Karam as he gets mind controlled and chases you around. The phases in this fight are broken up by which brother is currently active, and adding an additional mechanic for each subsequent phase. In phase 1, you're just being chased around by Karam Magespear as he drops a little area of denial puddles that will do damage, and you want to keep them out of this central area. Raest is immune in this phase, and you can kite Karam around the entire area, and in fact you do want to kite him around the perimeter so you're not dropping those area of denial puddles anywhere in that middle area, which is where you're going to be spending the majority of your time from phase 2 onwards. Anytime you're being chased by Karam, he will gain speed over time and damage. If he reaches you, he's going to one-shot you anyway, so the damage part isn't really a big deal. Once you bring him to 33%, he will immune, and you'll get 40 seconds or so of DPS on Raest Magespear. He does start summoning little creepy crawly adds that have 40% base movement speed that do need to be AoE down throughout the fight. They will take you down in 1 to 2 melees, so you definitely don't want to get hit by him, but if you need to run through them very fast, or if you take one stray melee attack, you're not going to instantly explode. But during this time, you do want to pour as much damage as you can into Raest, as he's going to immune after that 40 seconds. Karam will become active again and start chasing you once more. You'll have to keep dealing with the creepy crawlers in this phase, but now you'll also have to deal with these hands from beyond that do this very long cast that will essentially one-shot you if you let it go off. You can interrupt this with Solar Beam. You could also kill them well before they finish the cast, and you might even survive this explosion if you Bear Form and Bark Skin. This phase also ends when you bring Karam to 33%. He's going to immune one last time and regen his health, while you get another shot at Raest Magespear. While Karam is immune, you don't have to deal with the hands, but they will be back when he comes back into the fight. But now Raest will put summoning glyphs on the ground that shrink over time. If they fully shrink, they will spawn a nightmare from beyond, a thing from beyond, something along those lines, that will run you down and kill you. You have to soak this glyph by standing in it for 2 to 3 seconds. Fun fact is, if your denizen of the dream spawns in this glyph, it'll soak it for you, so you don't have to do it. I wouldn't count on that happening, but it is funny when it does. The glyph will only spawn between the purple and orange markers here. You'll always be able to get to it and soak it, especially if you have Tiger Dash Spec. I would highly recommend that. But it's just important to make sure that neither the boss nor the adds are populating this area when you do need to soak. But if they are, this is a perfect opportunity to Typhoon them. This will buy you plenty of time to soak the rune. Ursol's Vortex is another really good tool for this fight, though it's not going to do too much if the adds are already right on top of your glyph. You could also take this talent tree and spec something else into Incapacitating Roar. If they are on top of the glyph and you can't knock them back with Typhoon, you could Incap Roar as you're running through the far side of the glyph in bear form, hoping they don't melee you to death, but generally keep that area open and keep Typhoon available for it. But you should also keep Entangling Roots and Cyclone handy for Karam Magespear. I have them set to a focus macro so that I don't have to bother picking him out of the crowd. In the final phase, if you elect to keep Karam alive while you take down Raest, you can alternate between Cyclone and Entangling Roots so you don't GR either one too quickly, because he will quickly overtake the speed at which the rest of the adds are chasing you around. After Karam comes out of his second immunity, you'll have to deal with Raest and Karam at the same time, and you have a decision to make. Either take down Raest while kiting Karam around the room and CCing him, or knocking him back and just keeping him at bay, while still soaking glyphs, DPSing hands from beyond, and keeping the little minor adds out of your face, and surviving the minor Shadow Bolt damage that Raest does to you. Or you can elect to finish him off. He will not bubble at 33% this time. He will just be finished off when his health reaches 0. Keep in mind he has significantly less health than Raest, 174k versus 431k. When he dies though, Raest becomes enraged and his Shadow Bolts will do 5 or 6x damage, hitting you for about 3,000 a pop. That is pretty significant damage, and something you will have to heal through at least a little bit if that's the route you go. You do have regrowth, you will have renewal, but if you do kill him, perfect opportunity to hit Heart of the Wild and use the increased healing and reduced cost of that healing to keep yourself alive while taking Raest out. The fight is likely not to last another 45 seconds at that point. Also good to note that once Karam is out of the fight, you will no longer get hands from beyond, so no longer interrupting or priority target swapping to them. given the increased damage, if you do elect to kill Karam, you still want to push that off for as long as possible, keep both bosses dotted, and do as much damage to Raest as you can while kiting Karam out. Once it looks like he's getting a little too fast for you, that's when you want to finish him off, and that will allow you to bring Raest's health down as much as possible so you don't have to deal with this extended enrage period. Another good way to help deal with that enraged boss in the final phase is make sure you have Leeching Fangs on your cloak and Chant of Armored Leech on your bracers. These will give you 11% leech. These will do the majority of your self-healing up to that point if you have them on, and while they won't do the entire job in that final phase with the enraged boss, they will allow you to focus a little bit more on direct damage to Raest instead of having to stop and heal yourself with regrowth so many times. Though you will still have to do it, and I would definitely recommend continuing to take Heart of the Wild even if you have those Leech enchants. And while we're talking about enchants, you come into the tower at 450 or so main stat. You can get yourself an extra 50% main stat if you have Crystalline Radiance on your chest and a charged armor kit on your legs. If you've done any tower challenges on a strength or agi user, you might know that the Stormbound and Defender's armor kits gives you like 100 plus main stat. This is not the case for the initial tailoring items that casters use on their legs, the Sunset and Daybreak spell threads. And you can still get that big 70% additional versatility in the tower if you have any crafted weapon. Even blue weapons work for this, with the Dark Moon Sigil Symbiosis embellishment, any crafted armor piece, again, even blue armor piece with a Writhing Armor Banding embellishment, which doubles the weapon's effect, and a Dark Moon Dex Symbiosis trinket equipped. And of course the consumables, the Greater Flask of Endless Fathoms, Superior Battle Potion of Intellect, Borealis Blood Sausage, and any older augment runes. And before the villagers get their pitchforks out, you do not have to get any enchants or embellishments. Do not write in the comments that you have to go through all this extra bullshit to do the challenge, because you absolutely do not. We're going to do the challenge right here. I am by far not the greatest player in the world, especially when it comes to Druid. You can do this challenge without any of the enchants. You're likely to have 1, 2, or 4 of them equipped anyway. You don't have to get old consumables. You don't have to change your embellishment. These are just incredibly overpowered options that I want to present to anybody watching this video, because it'll help them get through the challenge if they want it. Now that my spiel is done, we're going to do this. No enchants, no embellishments, no consumables, no gems even. I'm going to go through the fight here and tell you everything I'm doing as I do it, and just talk through how I handle the given priorities and hurdles that the fight throws at you at any given time. And I like to start the fight way back here to make sure we get Karam out on this outer perimeter where I'm not going to be spending any of the rest of the fight, so we can drop those area of denial puddles just really far out of the way. And I use Warrior and Fury of Elune here. You want to make sure you have all of your cooldowns back up for when you have that like opener on Raest. I always get the names wrong. I'm surprised I didn't there. But we'll definitely have both of those up. Warrior's back up in 20. Fury's already back up. Karam's at 63. And important to know that if you use Typhoon on him, you can still Ursol's Vortex him for the grab back. But if you use Ursol's Vortex, he's going to have like this PvP duration where you cannot Typhoon him. So it's just one of those weirder interactions. You know, they give PvP durations for like CC abilities here, just so you can't super break them. Try to keep your astral power like topped up. Here we go. And we're going to blast all of our cooldowns here. And make sure you're staying away from that lighted area. That's where those ads are going to spawn. And generally just focus as much damage on Raest as you possibly can. You know, you can get some free dots on with the like the Sunfire Cleave and just running around him to keep all those ads clumped up. And we got Warrior to proc our next Eclipse, and we're going to continue running around and focusing till we have every last drop spent before Karam comes back up. But 60% is pretty good. Now we did 1 Typhoon. Yeah, okay. And here's Karam. Now, we have 80 seconds before Incarn is back up, or Chosen of Elune, or whatever the CD's called when you take Convoke. And here's our first Hand from Beyond. We're going to Warrior of Elune this. And we're not going to hit our Interrupt unless we really have to. And we didn't there, so we didn't. Easy peasy. We're going to throw down our Ursol's Vortex, just to buy ourselves a little bit of time. And 50 seconds left on our... Now, you don't really have to, like, wait to push, or wait to have your cooldown back up to push, but it is nice to have all of that damage ready. We're going to Fury of Elune this hand here. We'll probably have to swap our Interrupt to it. maybe. Nope. 47% on Karam. And again, we want to keep this previously marked area clear. Area of denial puddles are one thing, but like just make sure the ads aren't there. I'm gonna knock you all back. 42%, probably get one more hand. We're gonna have Fury of Warrior of Elune ready for that. And Chosen is almost back up. We're just gonna send the interrupt now because we won't need it because Karam's gonna go bye-bye. There we go, we dot everything up. And Chosen is right back up. Big damages. And stay out of that marked area so we can get our... See a Denizen of the Dream? We might get a glyph spawn right under him. That'd be cool. Got 35% already. We're gonna be alright. We might be able to just kill him outright. Throw the Fury down, and he's not going to like immune anymore. Here's our next summon. We also populated this area a little too quickly, but you know, that knockback really does all the work. We might just CC Karam here. We're going to Cyclone him, and then going to run by. And we're going to Renewal here just to top ourselves up. And if we can bother not kicking this, that's what we're going to do. Yep. Having the kick up for like when you really, really want it. We have Ursol's down. And we got a new Convoke up, so we don't need to heal ourselves because we're going to get some free healing from that. And we won't even have to kill Karam. We're going to Cyclone him one more time. We soak the Rift there. And that is easy peasy. Honestly, it's not easy peasy till you kill it, right? But if you're looking like your damage is a little bit slow and he's catching up to you, you know, you do have a little bit of snare from Moonfire from the Elune's Chosen Tree, and alternating Cyclone and Entangling Roots. If I thought I wasn't going to end the fight right there, I would have thrown Entangling Roots on him. It obviously breaks, whereas Cyclone doesn't, but alternating them does help prevent you from getting too much DR on them. But really, damage seems pretty good right now, even without any enchants or consumables or any of that stuff. Just throwing Crystalline Radiance and a Charge Armor Kit will make it just that much faster. But if you're not used to playing it, I highly recommend going with Convoke for this fight. Having that up for both of the burn phases on a race allows you to get that health down real low so that you have a much easier final phase. You're not going to kite around too much. I only had to deal with, what, 2 or 3 hands in that final phase. And you can certainly throw out your Solar Beam as quickly as you want to deal with those hands, but you won't be able to interrupt consecutive hands, even with your 45-second talent. So seeing if you can DPS them down before you have to kick them is, in my opinion, a pretty good idea, and Warrior of Elune works out great for that. Starfire is a good bit of damage. You cast them on the move. It allows you to keep that kite pattern going. You're obviously going to generate the astral power you need for more Star Surges. And obviously you can take manual wild mushrooms if you want. I just like the Sunseeker mushrooms. Even 9% of my damage right here. I feel like that was a lot more than it was last patch. Who's to say? And that's without me actively casting them. I felt like I had plenty of astral power throughout the fight. I think we renewed once or twice. Convoke also tosses out a few heals while you're doing it. And having Fury as well for those hands when I didn't have Warrior of Elune was very nice. So that's the Balanced Druid Mage Tower Challenge. That is number 5. We still have the High Mountain Challenge to do and one of the Healer Challenges. Let me know what you want to see for either one of those. That's it for this one. I hope I helped you out. I had a good time making it. I do have a little room in my heart for Balanced Druid. I think it was the first ranged spec I played a lot. It might have been the first ranged Mage Tower I completed back in Legion. Do let me know if you want to see other specs for the Mage Tower in Season 3. We're still likely to put all of them out. We still have a few classes to go on Kaiveza and other specs that I still want to try. Let me know what you're playing. Let me know what you want to see. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay in the loop for all of those videos. Like this video if you liked it and to help promote it across YouTube. You can check out channel membership options by hitting that join button below. We've got our first 2-month member, Nick. Thank you, Nick. And D's Nuts is coming up on 2 months himself, so thank you, D's Nuts. I appreciate it. As always, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening. Peace.